Hello everyone, you guys are welcome to another of my review. Today we are going to be looking at the Capture One for the iPad. Right now we already have the Capture One on the desktop. Now if you don't know what Capture One is all about, it's a software that helps you to edit your photos. But we also have other software out there. We have the Lightroom and also the Photoshop. They are together with the same under the same company. But you also have these AI editing platform as well. But you also have so many other software that will help you edit your photos. I primarily use Capture One, but I also have Photoshop as well. But I use Capture One because Capture One just, I don't know, it just gives you that extra, some features that I really love. But to be clear, this obviously this review is not sponsored by Capture One or by anybody. Now, the Capture One for the iPad software was released on the Apple App Store on the 28th of June. But I've had the beta version for the last 4 weeks, and I've had 4 shoots. Portrait, about maybe 2 of them were the portrait, and I think 2 event, and I've edited 90% of my photos using this Capture One on the iPad, and it's just a great software. Now this is your first attempt at a mobile software. Now when you get into the photography space, you might be overwhelmed with all the software. Which one should I get, which one should I not get? I mean, just try each one of them and anyone that works for you. For me, Capture One works for me, and I like the way it looks. I like the feel of it. I like the way it just looks. So generally I gravitate towards Capture One if I just need to do edit. Now another advantage of having this on the iPad is to allow you to actually edit on the go. And with this Capture One for the iPad, what they've also done is also to link it with your desktop. So you have this cloud storage that you can be editing on the iPad, then you can continue on the desktop with your Capture One. Now, one of the advantages of the Capture One also is that it allows you to bring your raw files into your iPad by using your memory stick or something like that, as long as they're USB-C. I'm using iPad Pro today, so probably you can use any iPad that you want, as long as you can get the photos into the iPad. So I don't want us to talk too much. We are going to be editing this image today. So that is the image that we are going to be editing today. So what I'm going to do right now is to show you guys how the Capture One for the iPad works. I will take you guys through the layout first of all, and once I take you guys through the layout, then we'll start editing these particular images as an example. One thing that you must know is that this will cost you around, I think, $4.99 every month. So if it's something that you want to consider, think about the price as well, because obviously you might be thinking, oh, $4.99 is a lot. But if you have to pay for Photoshop and Lightroom, you have to pay, I think, about £9 or something, or £12 a month for each one of them. And so is the only issue I found with this is that with the desktop, for my knowledge so far, not totally sure, I think you have to pay separately for the desktop version, and you have to pay separately for this version, probably, which is not a great thing, but right. So, but if you like using Capture One, obviously, another reason why I love Capture One so much, it allows you to tether, like you can shoot tether. So with this Capture One on the iPad, so if you're on location, you can be shooting, and if you have a team of people who are back in your office or somewhere, or even someone that you want to share the photo, you can share the photo with them live while you're even doing the photo shoot. You can ask for their advice. They can edit your photo while you are shooting on location. They can edit it in the office, and it will be like live edit, and everything will come, and you can show it to your client before they leave, just to have a feel of what they'll be getting and stuff like that. So it's a great to have the Capture One, especially for tethering, and generally the editing is good. So I don't want to talk too much anymore. I just want to get into this Capture One for the iPad. I've not seen a great deal of videos on YouTube on this Capture One for the iPad. So specifically I'm mentioning iPad because obviously the desktop version, there's a lot of video, thousands of video, I'm sure, on YouTube. So let's get straight into this iPad. So now, the first thing you see, as you guys can see on my iPad right now, on this layout that I'm showing you guys can, once you put your SD card in, maybe your USB-C, it will recognize it, and it will show you that it will indicate to you that there are images that you can upload. And when you upload those pictures, they will all come in, and you can see them in this, like you guys can see that right now in this interface. Now, on my own, I'll say left hand side, you have all the section of your tools, editing tools, which you have 5 of them there. If you click on the eye on the bottom, it will give you the information about the camera, so you can see I was using the Sony A7 IV, and you can also rate these. So if you're shooting a location and you want your client to choose the picture they really like, and you can just, they can style it, they can give it like 5-star or 4-star, so you know the pictures that you're editing and there's no miscommunication, there's no issue. So that is good to have. You can also see the dimension of the image is high. You can also see that it's like the format, which is raw, lossless, compressed, and I shot this on the 26th of June. And also you can see the size, which is the 39.9 MB. So it's still a big file. Now this is the image itself. Before we go ahead, we also have on the top, you have this one. You can use color tagging as well for that, and on this side, you can select the images that you want. The up button here is to, if you want to export, I will do that, probably we'll get to that later. And then obviously if you want to delete the photos, and the 3 dots on there is just to allow you to, whether you want to show your Instagram or you want to move your tool to the right. So I'll just leave it at where it is right now. So finally, so let's get down into this right now. So I'm just gonna edit this photo right now. You guys are looking on the screen right now, and so I want us to go quickly. How about it? I don't want to waste time. Hopefully this whole video should be on a 10 minutes, hopefully. So the first thing I would do with this image is I will click on this first button here that has these 2, and you can see style, see everything. I probably don't use this most of the time. If you have a preset, you can load the preset, but I'll go to the next one, which is the crop tool. Now this is where we start to get interesting. Now when you start to click on this, you will see a wheel here. This wheel allows you to kind of either add increase something or reduce something. So right, if you're going up, is you're adding, if you're going down, you're reducing, right? So here the first one is obviously cropping tool. So now I click on the cropping tool. I want to crop this image, so I'm just going to drag this. Now what I want to do is to make sure I crop that to that. Say I think I like it like that, and I feel that is good enough for me. Okay, so I'm going to go here. I want to be free, so I just want to do it the way I like. So I don't want it because it's cropping the way I don't like. So I'm going to take it up again, do that, and bring it there. Okay, I think I'm just going to drag this one too here. Great, I think that's all right. So I'll just click on that again. Now it's all cropped for me. Now the next thing I want to do is to go to the next button, which will give me the white balance, give me the exposure, and black and white HDR, and so forth, DAs, color editor. Now the main one I'll be using today is just the white balance, the exposure, the HDR. I also use the color as well. So let's go. So the first one here is the white balance. So I want to reduce the white balance from 5,034. I want to reduce it to just give me probably something like a little bit. I think I like it like that. Let me reduce it a little bit. So it's around 4,804 now. I think this one is great. So I will leave the tint like that. I think the tint is okay. So the next thing I want to do is to go to exposure, and I want to just reduce it now, just not too much. So let's have it that way. I think I like it that way. Now I want to increase the contrast a little. Let's see. So I'm going to increase the contrast to make it a little bit contrasty, and instead of me just adding saturation and to add color to everything, what I want to do is just to do it individually. So this is where you get to, I'm going to go to the HDR first. I want to reduce the highlight. So let me reduce the highlight right now. You guys can see that we have more details in the sky and everything like that. It looks much better. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Now, the next thing, shadows, I'm just going to improve that a little bit. Just leave it like that. And I'll just leave those 2. Now, for clarity, the structure especially, I'll just add more to it. Then let me now go to the color editor, which I really want to use. I love using this color editor, and I think it's really, really good, right? So I'm going to click on that. Right, and it's going to give me some something on this right hand side. So I'm going to click on that right there. Now I'm going to select which part I want to edit. So I want to edit the grass. I want it to look more green and stuff like that. So I'm going to do is come here. Then since it's selected green, you can see it's green. So let's do the hue first. So I'm going to add to the hue. Now you guys can see this. The grass is changing a little bit, getting more green, and everything on green is getting more. Now I'll go to saturation and I increase it a little bit, right? And also the lightness, I'm going to reduce it. And you guys can see that it's allowing the image to pop. I think about that is okay. And I think I like that the way it is right now. Maybe I should just add a little bit of vignetting on the side as well, just to give it, to make it pop. And I think another thing I can do is just to still maybe reduce the, maybe give it like that. And just the overall saturation, I'm just gonna give it like that. There's so much more you can do on this iPad as well. And obviously I've used all this tab. The DAs, I'm gonna just reduce it. Let me just try that. And I think that works perfectly. And I think this image looks great. Now let's look at the before and the after so far. So this is the before and here is the after. Before, you guys can see, and after. And for me, this image looks absolutely beautiful right now. It looks great. And this picture already looked great. For this photo shoot, I used the Sony a7 IV. I also used the Sony 50 f1.2, and then I was using the Godox 8600 for this particular shoot. And you guys can see that after editing it is a lot better. And I'll go to the next tab here, which is, I don't really use this too much, so I'll just probably sharpen the image a little bit, just add more details, and just click on detail, right? So just add more details there, and color, and just put color just a little bit more. So I think I'm really happy with that. Depending on what you want to achieve, obviously you can go ahead and do more on keep editing. I just like the overall feel of this old iPad. And one other thing that I want to say is that if you now want to export this image, I am happy with this image as it is right now. It depends on your own taste, but for me, I think this image looks better than it was before. So just to edit, also I've not talked about the the histogram here. You can see the histogram here, so that will help you to kind of edit. You can see you want things to be a little more to the middle, which it is. I can raise the blue a little bit. It feels like the blue is not, but I'll just leave it as it is right now. I think I'm pretty much happy. Just want to show you guys how to edit on this Capture One for the iPad, and I think I've been able to do that so far. So if I click on this button here, it will give you the detail. This is to export your image. You can see the resolution. You can see the resolution, you can see the details on there, and you can see the dimension. So these are still going to be exporting at a high res. Like, you're going to see how keep a lot of details if there, and you can export even raw. If you want to export raw, you can export in JPEG. You can optimize for the web if you want. You can, Instagram optimized, you can do that as well. And you can add watermark if you like. You can title it, put a title name on the file before you export it. So hopefully I've been able to show you guys how to use the iPad, how to edit on the iPad with the Capture One right now. So I've enjoyed using it for the last 4 weeks, and it's just been something that I use regularly. The good thing, you're on the road, you want to edit quickly, you can just pick up your iPad and you start editing. And this will edit, raw file, everything. You will just enjoy the whole process on this. Now, this is your first try, so obviously they will need to keep improving on this software. So don't expect it to be probably perfect or near perfect, and I can't really compare it to Lightroom and Capture and what do you call it, and Photoshop, because obviously this is your first try. But what they've done is they've made sure that the same software inside their desktop version is the same software on this iPad, which is absolutely amazing, because usually companies just do a different one for the mobile and a different one for the desktop. But on this occasion, it's the same on the same desktop and also on the iPad, right? I hope you guys have enjoyed this little editing tutorial as well. If you enjoyed this, please smash that like button for me. Subscribe to this channel as well if you haven't subscribed. If you like any of our video, don't forget, smash that button like twice, and I'll see you guys in my next review. Until next time, I say bye bye.